Okay. Okay, I think I'm recording. I'm going to verify this in 1 second here. I'm going to wait for the official. There it is. It says I'm recording, so I'm recording. How you doing, everybody? This is your pal, and I might be the only pal you have out there. I don't know. Uncle Bruce is your friend here. Stock Markets with Bruce. Pick up my T-shirt on my Redbubble store anytime you want. I think I got 12 of them, and coffee mugs and everything else. But anyway, welcome to another recording about this GameStop eBay takeover story that keeps evolving and keeps moving along. I figure, every few days I'll do a video to kind of give you the latest updates and also to help you maybe further understand what's going on and perhaps help to interpret some of the gobbledygook that you're reading about this deal or you've seen elsewhere, details on it. I mean, if you go to, some of these well-respected national broadcasters who talk about this deal, I mean, are you getting one side of the story? You probably noticed nobody likes the deal. Nobody on a major network likes the deal. None of the big financial papers or publications like the deal. And you got to wonder how many paid shills are out there to write up stories of more and more ridiculous stories about GameStop and Ryan Cohen and how stupid it is to try to buy a company much larger than yours and on and on and on. I mean, it never ends. But here's something I want you to understand. There's a couple of things I want you to get. This deal isn't going away just because eBay's directors said, "Oh, we don't think this is accretive to our company. We don't believe that this is in the best interest of our shareholders." Or other publications say, this has no way of working, or the math doesn't add up, or whatever. This deal isn't going away unless Ryan Cohen and his team at GameStop officially back off and say we're not interested in this deal anymore. We've decided to not pursue this matter. Then that's the only way it'll die. Because to me, the logical next step for Ryan Cohen and GameStop is to make a formal tender offer for the company. And my guess on it, or my take on it, is it doesn't matter if only 50% of the shareholders take up the offer, or 20%, or 80%. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I think the worst case scenario is GameStop will end up with a chunk of eBay so large that they'll be the dominant shareholder of the company. And it's then only a matter of time that they make another tender offer, say 6 months from now, for another bunch of stock, and they'll get to 50+%, and they'll then force it over. The thing that people keep asking me about, if you've watched my videos now on this whole thing, if you read the comments, and thank you for those of you who are giving me thumbs ups and subscribing to my channel and saying, hey, thank you very much, Bruce, for helping me out. Appreciate it. There are some of those folks out there who are saying, isn't this going to be dilutive to the stock? Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, do you want to own, if you're a GameStop shareholder, do you want to have a share of GameStop on a $22 stock right now? Or do you want to own a share of GameStop that has assets of $60 million and is part of the S&P 500 index? I think it's a win. I don't care if 2/3 of all the shares out there, when it's all said and done, are held by eBay shareholders. It doesn't matter. Who's running the company is what matters. And how is that person or persons running the company? And how is eBay going forward with its profitability and its relationship with its vendors, which is the most important thing. Shareholders are important, but vendors, the sellers on eBay, they're everything. No one talks about those 115 million people who are vendors on eBay. Nobody talks about. I want to say hi to the vendors of eBay. I want to say, how you doing? I want to let you know that I once was a vendor on eBay, and I did it full time for 2 years. I was a 2 year full time vendor on eBay in another life, way back in the early 2000s when the world was a whole different place. We're talking 23 years ago, 23 years ago. I was a full time vendor on eBay. Before that, back in the early 1990s, I was a retailer selling sports cards and comic books. And so I did that for 3 or 4 years. In my 30s, this is going back a ways. So I have the comic book sports card experience. I have the eBayer experience. I have the stock market experience, having been in the brokerage business. And I'm sitting here watching this deal happen in front of my eyes, and I'm going, oh my God, I know about the vendor side. I know about the product side. I know about the collectible side. I know about the market side. Oh, this is incredible. I'm telling you, folks, and all of you eBay vendors out there, you're the backbone of that company. Without you, eBay would die overnight. And you guys, all 115 million of you, could make this deal happen like that. And you know how you can do it? You team up with the GameStop shareholders. If you're a GameStop lover, GameStop shareholder, GameStop follower, you used to own GameStop once, you've shifted your account into other investments, or you're sitting on ETFs that own eBay stock in their portfolio. All of you combined, and that could well be 150 million people. I don't know how many we're talking about here. All of you combined could make this deal happen almost instantaneously. And the easiest way to think about it is this. There are 444 million shares of eBay out in the street. That's how many exist. 444 million. Management of the company and the board of directors, all the senior people who run that outfit, have 2/3 of 1% of the stock. So I'm going to guess that's about 3 million shares out of 444 million. The rest of those shares are out there in the hands of institutional investors, retail investors, you name it, all over the world. There's 115 million of you guys. There's 150 million of you guys. If only you give me that kind of viewership, I'd really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, if you can do me a big favor with this video. Not only give me a thumbs up and subscribe, but forward this video to anyone you know that's an eBay seller, that's ever bought on eBay before. Get them to watch this video, because all of you small little people out there, none of you are billionaires. You're all thousandaires, hundredaires. All of you have the power to make this deal happen in a microsecond. And all it is buy some shares of eBay. Buy one share for $113. Buy 2 shares, 4 shares, but an increment of a share, at least one. Buy 100, buy 1,000, whatever you want. If you've got investments in ETFs worth $10,000, you can sell some of that, say $2,000 worth of that, and buy $2,000 worth of eBay, or $5,000 worth of eBay, or all of it. Just put it all into eBay. Why would you want to do that? Because every share you have gives you a vote on whether the deal goes through or not. That's the kicker here. By the way, I want to pop this up just so you can see this. This is the closing price today of eBay stock. Right now in the after hours, it's 113.18. Closed today at 113.01. It hit a new high for the year, $113.73. I think, and by the way, this chart you're looking at came from April of this year, so it's April, May, and to April and May. So it's like a 30-day chart, I think. Yeah, 1 month. A month ago, the stock was what, $100, under $100. Now it's 113, right? And in the last week, ever since eBay's management said we don't want this deal, the stock has gone up. Have you noticed that? Everyone, I think, has noticed that, from about 108 to now 113. If you own one share of the stock, you're entitled to one vote, yes or no, on the deal. If there's a tender offer being made by GameStop, you will be asked to vote on the deal, or you will be offered the opportunity to tender your shares to the offer. And what is the offer? You buy the stock at $113.18, and for every share you tender, you get $62.50 a share in cash back, and the remainder you'll get in GameStop shares, which right now with GameStop at about 22 odd bucks a share, 2.8 shares for every eBay share you have. So you'll have, say you got 100 eBay shares, you're going to end up with 280 GBay shares. If it's GBay, I'm just using an acronym. And so you end up with 6250 cash, or 60 in this case, 100 times 6250 if it's 100 shares, and 2.8 shares or 280 shares. There's 150 million of you out there. 150 million of you out there. And if you all bought one share, in other words, if you shared this video with anyone you ever knew or met that once was involved with eBay in one share, one form or another, and all of those folks bought one share each, that would be 150 million shares. If you bought 3 shares each, that's 450 million shares. There's only 444 million in existence. And the directors and the senior officers are praying to God that none of you will do this, that no small army of investors will go out there and buy 10 shares, 5 shares, 50 shares, 200, 300 shares, 500 shares. They're praying to the Lord above. Please do not give them any ideas, because if these people acquire stock in eBay here, even up to 120 a share, buy it all up, 2 here, 5 there, 200 here, doesn't matter, and then you offer to tender your stock to GameStop, this deal's done. 51% of the company, 50.0111%, they have a majority control. Remember, GameStop already has 5% of the stock, and I hear you folks out there who've been, yapping away. Well, they don't own the shares, Bruce. They own some stock, but they really have derivatives and call options. That's okay. GameStop can exercise their derivatives, their options, and tender their shares to themselves. Don't worry about that. 5% of eBay is already in the bin, okay? They only need 45.0001% more. 45% of all the stock outstanding is 218 million, maybe 210 million shares. So 150 million of you that could be watching this video that won't be watching this video. But wouldn't that throw the analytics of my channel out the door? In any event, there you are. It's that simple. Look, if 10 million people decide to buy eBay stock on this tender offer takeover deal, they buy 1 share each. That's 10 million shares. They buy 100 shares each. It's 100 million shares. They buy 200 shares. That's 200 million shares, and that's almost 45% of the company, and that's right there. The majority of the stock with eBay's existing position. This doesn't take much. And this is where the Wall Streeters know, or they are stupid enough not to know. And believe me, there are some people out there who believe that they come off and they try to come off as real experts in the market. They don't know jack squat about what's going on. But then there are others in the market that do know that, oh my God, if an army of people went after eBay stock and tendered the shares to Ryan Cohen for this deal, he'd get the company. And all Ryan Cohen is doing is utilizing the ammunition and weaponry that Wall Street has had at its availability forever. He's just gone to a bank, in this case TD Bank is the lead banker, and said, look, I want to borrow 20 billion or so, maybe 25 billion, plus the 10 billion we got to launch a takeover of eBay. And the bank is going, oh, yeah, you're going to use the assets of eBay as your collateral for the $20 billion loan? Yeah, because it's all going to be one company called GBay, like eBay Plus, the new eBay, or just eBay with GameStop thrown in there, whatever. The bank is going, oh, we'll lend you $20 billion. It's a $44 billion company before you're making an offer on the damn thing. Of course, we'll lend you $30 billion. In reality, believe it or not, in reality, Ryan Cohen could go to a series of bankers and borrow $58 billion in cash and offer $125 in cash for the whole damn thing. And he'll get enough votes to make that happen. He'll get enough shares to make it happen. And then there'll only be 444 million shares outstanding at GameStop, and GameStop has a $50 billion loan against a corporation. But he doesn't have to do that. He's not going to have to do that. Put up half cash, half stock, and the deal is a done deal. At the end of it, I'm guessing $30 to $40 a share is where the shares are going to trade at when it's all one big company. And if it's trading at 30, eBay shareholders have 2.8 shares each of a $30 stock. So they're sitting on $80 stock plus the $62.50 they already got. They're laughing. They're laughing. The board of directors are laughing. They're on their yachts. They're in their private jets. They've all been paid off. They've all been bought out. They've all been let go. The CEO of the company is going to walk away with $110 million. Don't cry for this poor bugger. He's fine. All of his lieutenants, they're all going to be multimillionaires all over the place. Everybody wins in that group. But the GameStop shareholders win because you're going to be sitting on a $30, $40 stock now instead of a $22 stock. And your company is now followed by 38 analysts and your S&P 500, part of the index. And now Ryan Cohen can get to work to fix this thing and make it run on all cylinders to perfection rather than what it's doing right now. Despite itself, eBay makes money. Despite the weight of dead management, of dead directors, of all of these overheads that they've put on, all of this sucking, you hear the sucking sound in the background? That is money being sucked out of shareholders' pockets by these directors and senior officers who are overpaid, overcompensated, and given ridiculous stock options. It's just a sucking sound. It's just ridiculous. And yet the stock has been going up lately because despite all that, the company has been improving. I think one of the reasons that eBay is improving is the hard luck stories we're beginning to hear about out of the United States and elsewhere. Remember, eBay is global, so it's not just US buyers and sellers. It's Canadian, European, everywhere. People who are hurting financially are putting stuff up for sale on eBay to try to pay bills, especially like, food and utilities and car payments. That's why eBay is doing so well. But if you don't look after the sellers, if you don't consider them your number one asset, are the sellers of eBay, you're going to lose these people. These people can be stolen by other corporations. It's time for eBay to be shook up and cleaned up and primed up. I just read only 20, 30, 40 minutes ago, I read another headline. It was Cisco announcing layoffs because of AI. Cisco, this was a stock market darling in the 90s. It was as popular then as NVIDIA is now. Cisco is laying off staff so that they can dedicate more to the AI side because they don't need as many people. This isn't going to stop, folks. There are going to be millions of people losing their jobs around the world to AI. And millions of those, a good chunk of those, are going to be selling stuff on eBay and elsewhere and garage sales to try to make ends meet before they land another job. eBay would be a lot better off if it were run by Ryan Cohen and the GameStop team. That is my take. So, to all 150 million potential viewers of this video, I say, I'm Uncle Bruce. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I used to be a full-time eBayer, and I was at one time a retail operator of a sports card store way back in the early 90s. And I've been a stockbroker and in the investment business from 1979, all the way to when I retired. And I've been on all three sides of this deal. And I'm telling you, this deal is going to happen. This company is going to be taken by eBay if a tender offer is made and enough investors say, yeah, you can have my stock. Absolutely. I got 15 shares. Yeah, I'm taking the deal. That is what's on the table. So, kids, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, look, if you want to know how to make money in the market other than this takeover deal, or with this takeover deal, you can go to my homepage on the internet. You can go right here to stockmarketswithbruce.ca. If you are serious about becoming a self-employed person at home with your own life, and you're going to be able to manage your own assets, here you are, because you'll be shocked at how little you need to become a self-employed person at home. Learning how to do one thing, and that is learning how to write options. If you go to that website address, you'll come right here. You'll find this page right here. I think this should pop up. My Henry, my picture. There it is. There's my homepage. There I am. That's me without the beard. And if you click on where it says classes there, the tab, you'll come to this tab right over here. You'll see this homepage pop up in front of you. And that is attention students, classes in session. If you want to learn how to write stock options and make money, even if you don't own stock, you can write stock options. You will start right here with lessons number 1 and 2. Here's where you want to go. Just scroll down that page and you'll find the titles of each of these classes. And if you're serious about becoming a full-blown self-employed individual, retire earlier, retire now instead of 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is where you go. Start with lesson 1, go all the way through them. There's 19 of them now. How to earn income from writing put contracts, spreads. It just goes on and on. There are all kinds of tricks of the trade that you're going to learn in here, all kinds of expressions. All of these classes are in plain English, just like I try to talk to you here in plain English. And they're about an hour and a half, 2 hours long each. There are no quizzes. It's in front of a live, they were done in front of a live audience, basically the viewers of my channel over the last few years. And they're easy to take. If you feel, however, you want to have a one-on-one session with me, and you want to just talk to me privately about your investments and what you're doing and how you're doing it, you can do that by hitting me up for a 1-hour consultation. I charge $500 an hour, but I'll tell you in about 15 minutes that pays for itself. You'll learn more in an hour than you can possibly learn anywhere else, in my humble opinion. In any event, if you'd like to do that, just get a hold of me. Below this mug you're looking at in the description, you'll find my email address down there, brucefarman@hotmail.com. Send me an email. I'd like to have a one-on-one with you. When can we do it? I can do it on weekends. I can do it on a weeknight after work. When you let me know, we'll figure it out. I'm in Western Canada, so I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. So no big deal. I talk to people from Europe, from South America, Asia, all over the USA. No big deal. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me and waiting me out, tolerating me today. Don't get fooled by these messages right here. Let me just pop this one screen up here. Don't get, waylaid by this nonsense right here. All of these stupid headline stories coming out. It's just bunk, garbage. This deal is going to go through the way I think it will. It's going to go through a tender offer. And if you forward this video to enough friends and eBayers out there, and all of you buy 100 or 200 shares, this thing is a done deal. You'll make it happen yourself. There you go. Thank you again. We'll keep you posted. A couple of days from now, I'll pop something else up on the screen, unless something dramatic happens at any one time. All the best to all of you. It's Uncle Bruce from Calgary saying bye for now. And we'll talk to you shortly. Thumbs ups and subscribe. Thank you very much.